Typhoon Kome, the eighth storm of the year, made its second landfall in the Fengxian District of Shanghai at 4:40 p.m. on July 30th. Winds near the storm's center reached 32 meters per second, causing widespread damage as rooftops were torn off and trees were uprooted along the streets. By midday on June 30th, Shanghai was under the storm's eye wall, the area with the most intense winds and rain. Strong gusts and heavy rain hit the city. Some videos circulating online showed tourists along the Bund near the Huangpu River panicking, screaming, and running for cover. The wind and rain made it difficult to move, trapping some visitors on bridges with no place to hide. Many had to crouch on the ground near umbrellas that were blown away by the strong winds. One man's umbrella was blown down to its metal ribs. While many parks in the city were closed, the Pudong Disney Resort stayed open. Despite the storm, guests continued to queue for rides and attractions, braving the weather. Some visitors joked online that they got a deal since they didn't have to pay extra for express passes and could complete all the rides without waiting. However, others urged caution, warning that it was too dangerous to visit an outdoor theme park during a typhoon. Many tourists were drenched and complained about the lack of shelter from the rain.
It's pouring rain outside, typhoon and stormy weather, and there's nowhere to shelter from the rain.
Oh no, what are we going to do? How do we get home? One food delivery worker pressed on through the storm, only to realize that water had nearly flooded his food containers. He called out that he could no longer continue his deliveries. Shanghai has been experiencing continuous heavy rain. By noon on July 30th, the Weather Bureau upgraded the rainstorm warning from yellow to orange, forecasting up to 100 millimeters of rain in 6 hours, equivalent to a month's worth of rainfall. Authorities warned of serious risks like flooding and traffic congestion, prompting the activation of a Level 2 emergency response for flood and typhoon prevention. At the same time, several warnings were issued, including yellow alerts for lightning and typhoons, and a blue alert for high tide levels on the Huangpu River. With these warnings in place, all ferry services in Shanghai were suspended on the morning of July 30th. Speed limits on highways were reduced to 60 kilometers per hour, and some trains were cancelled or running at reduced speeds. Several high-speed trains bound for Shanghai had to turn back, and some departures were cancelled, leaving passengers stranded. Hundreds of flights were also cancelled across the city. Pudong Airport cancelled 410 flights, and Hongqiao Airport cancelled 230. Airports in nearby cities like Ningbo, Wenzhou, and Hangzhou also experienced cancellations or diversions. The water level in the Huangpu River rose sharply. A vlogger noted that it was the highest he'd ever seen. After Shanghai's flood and typhoon response was activated on July 29th, all 4,628 construction projects in the city were suspended. Over 1,100 construction workers in key areas were relocated for safety. By 10 a.m. on July 30th, authorities had set up 1,900 shelters, accommodating over 283,000 people.
Shanghai's typhoon prevention is not allowing people to stay in the dorms. They've kicked everyone out. Such a big dorm, and now it's empty. They won't let anyone stay the night. They've moved everyone out. They're afraid the typhoon will blow the building away. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Everyone evacuate. The typhoon is coming to Shanghai. Evacuate. Hurry and evacuate. Oh my goodness. The typhoon's here in Shanghai. Hurry up, hurry up. We need to find a safe place to shelter from the wind.
Videos from the scene showed workers shouting, hurry up, let's go now," as they helped guide people to safety. Many construction workers were housed in crowded university gymnasiums.
Look at this. Hundreds of people sleeping in the university gym. This is my first time here. Look.
Typhoon Kome was classified as a tropical storm, weaker than a typhoon but still rare for making direct landfall in Shanghai. It was the second strongest storm to strike the city in recent years, following last year's typhoon Babinka, the strongest tropical storm to hit Shanghai since 1949. Before hitting Shanghai, Kome first made landfall on Zhijiajian Island in Zhoushan, Zhejiang Province. Winds were also recorded at 23 meters per second. Zhejiang raised its emergency response level to 3. The storm brought towering waves several meters high to Zhoushan's Dongji Island. Along the Qiantang River in Hangzhou, tourists gathered to witness the famous tidal bore, but they were caught off guard when a massive wave suddenly hit the shore. The crowd screamed in panic and scattered as the wave surged toward them. Zhejiang's Department of Natural Resources and the Meteorological Bureau jointly issued a red warning for geological hazards at 8:21 a.m. on July 30th. By 8:30 a.m., Hangzhou Airport had cancelled 8 flights for the day. In Ningbo, some train services were halted, and Lishui Airport cancelled 40 flights. Putuoshan Island was closed. Work and school were also suspended. Strong winds had already begun before the typhoon made landfall. Typhoon Kome also brought strong winds and heavy rain to Zhejiang's Ningbo and Jiaxing regions. According to the Zhejiang Provincial Water Resources Department, the Yongjiang River Basin received 106 millimeters of rain in the last 24 hours, with another 22 meters expected in the next 24 hours. At 8:25 a.m. on the 30th, the water level at the Yaojiang Dam reached 2 meters, triggering the first flood of the year in the Yongjiang River. The water turned murky from heavy runoff. Despite overnight drainage efforts, by the morning of July 31st, the Yaojiang River's water levels remained high, flooding the Binjiang pedestrian path and submerging many trees.
Right now, I'm standing by the Yaojiang River in Yuyao. As you can see, the walkway is almost completely submerged in water. The water level where I'm standing is about 30 to 40 centimeters deep. If I move further ahead, it's even deeper. The water barrier is blocking the water from the river here, but the walkway's water level is higher than the river itself. This area is badly flooded.
In Jiaxing's Haiyan County, the Hangjiahu South Drainage Project, a major infrastructure initiative in the Taihu River Basin, pumped out more than 100 cubic meters of water, lowering river levels and creating more storage capacity. In Ningbo, one shelf in the automotive parts market was even blown into the street by the strong winds. Ningbo streets were completely flooded. At the Tangxi police station, 5 officers had to wade through waist-high water to respond to calls. Buses were flooded, leaving passengers wondering whether they were in a bus or on a boat. In the streets, countless electric bikes were overturned by the strong winds, with some even being swept away by rising floodwaters. In one video, a young man was seen struggling to walk through the flooded street, but accidentally stepped into a hidden deep hole and fell into the water, nearly drowning. In Yuyao City, the combination of the typhoon and heavy rain caused the river near Baihe village to breach its banks. Floodwaters poured into nearby towns, submerging homes and farmland. These people were rescued from the flood. Look at them. They're drenched, just like drowned rats. It's the same everywhere. The ditches are full, and the water's already over the doors. It's all flooded. The whole area is underwater. The roads are closed. In Lingfeng village, water from upstream carried debris like tree branches and even a car, blocking a bridge tunnel. This caused the river to overflow and flood into the roads. It's so fast. Just in this short time, it's flooded again. Why does this happen every year? Other footage showed significant flooding in the village, with some homes collapsing under rising waters. Luke town in Yuyao was also submerged, with floodwaters spreading across the area. In Zhejiang's Yangning Hot Springs, a flash flood hit the village, submerging many homes. Ningbo, Zhejiang saw widespread flooding, with vehicles submerged and residents wading through the streets. Videos shared online showed water leaking into an underground parking garage, and several residents reported water entering their homes.
Friends in Ningbo, the typhoon is really here. It's really here. Can anyone tell me if this car parked in the underground garage is in danger? Where should I park it? Oh my heavens. Oh my heavens. Look, just in this short time, just a few minutes and it's flooded. I've got to move my car right now.
Floods entered the homes of many residents. Many factories were also flooded, and workers had to wade through water to go to work. A cardboard factory in Ningbo was flooded, causing significant losses as many cardboard boxes were soaked. China's Central Weather Administration reported that after Typhoon Kome made its second landfall in Shanghai, it moved northwest at a speed of 15 to 20 kilometers per hour, gradually weakening. By the night of July 30th, it had reached southern Jiangsu as a tropical storm and is expected to weaken further as it moves through Anhui on the night of the 21st, eventually becoming a tropical depression. The storm is forecast to linger in southern Jiangsu and Anhui for 2 or 3 days. Meteorologists noted that Typhoon Kome had a long life cycle, multiple landfalls, a complex path, and an asymmetrical structure. The storm formed in the South China Sea on the evening of July 23rd and is expected to last until the end of July or early August. It weakened east of Taiwan before re-strengthening. In addition, the interaction between 2 typhoons provided Typhoon Kome with continuous moisture. Typhoon Kome, the ninth storm of the year, contributed moisture to Typhoon Kome as it moved eastward under the influence of the subtropical high-pressure system to the north. Some areas in southern Jiangsu and Anhui could experience continuous rainfall or heavy local downpours, possibly leading to secondary disasters due to the storm's stalled movement. A recent earthquake off the coast of Russia's Far East triggered a tsunami, prompting China's Ministry of Natural Resources to issue a yellow tsunami warning for the coastal regions of Zhejiang and Shanghai and activate a level 2 emergency response. However, by the afternoon, the tsunami warning was lifted. On the morning of July 30th, an 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula. The epicenter was located about 13 kilometers southeast of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, with a depth of around 20 kilometers. Experts pointed out that this earthquake was very similar to the 9.0 magnitude earthquake that hit the region in 1952. There have been reports of some damage, with several people suffering minor injuries while trying to flee buildings. One hospital patient was injured after jumping out of a window to escape. A local kindergarten was severely damaged, but fortunately, no children were inside at the time. Additionally, a tsunami with waves exceeding 10 feet was observed near the Kuril Islands, with fishing boats swept away and power outages reported in several areas. Russian Research Institute of Fisheries and Oceanography stated that some coastal areas in Kamchatka have seen waves as high as 33 to 49 feet. In Severokurilsk, the waves reached up to 19 feet, flooding port cities and trapping buildings underwater. The earthquake triggered tsunami warnings across the Pacific, including in Japan, Hawaii, the U.S. West Coast, and Chile. In Hawaii, evacuation orders were issued hours before the tsunami was expected to reach the U.S. mainland, urging residents to move to higher ground. Hotels instructed guests to evacuate to the fourth floor or higher. The large-scale evacuation caused heavy traffic, and major airports, including Hilo International Airport, temporarily closed to help with the evacuations. The worst waves in Hawaii hit the north shore of Maui, where the waves reached 5.7 feet. By 10:40 p.m., the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency downgraded the tsunami warning to an advisory, lifting the evacuation orders and allowing residents to return home. Japan also took extensive precautions, with many people climbing to rooftops or driving to higher ground. Nearly 2 million people across Japan received evacuation orders, covering a large area from Hokkaido to Okinawa. Many were especially cautious due to the terrifying memories of the 2011 tsunami. Many Chinese nationals in Japan, fearing the tsunami, decided to return to China.
家人们，日本又发生大事儿了。
Everyone, something big has happened in Japan again. Take a look. There's a tsunami warning along Japan's Pacific coastline. I don't even know if I can stay in Japan anymore. It's earthquakes every 3 days, big ones every 5 days. And if it's not an earthquake, it's a tsunami. It's terrifying. A lot of shops, schools, and factories in Japan have already closed. You can see signs saying to run because the tsunami could hit at any moment. It's really scary. And this time, the area affected is pretty wide, and it looks pretty alarming. Flights have been canceled, and those from Fukuoka and Osaka, they're all returning. Can you even stay in Japan with all this? It's really terrifying.
往国内跑啊，都不敢趟，赶海啸呢。
Running back to the mainland doesn't help. Talking about tsunamis, they're predicting a 3-meter tsunami in Chiba. Chiba is really close to Tokyo. They're expecting 3 meters in Hokkaido too. My friends were planning to visit Shanghai, but now they're not allowed to go.
现在因为海啸的这个气象原因
Tourists were also stranded at airports. Because of the tsunami weather situation, we're stuck at Kansai Airport. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it being stuck. They've just delayed our flight by an hour.
海啸也好，地震也罢。
Tsunami, earthquakes, whatever. Goodbye, I'm heading home. I'm already on a China Eastern Airlines flight, and I'm going back to China now. Officials in Japan reported that 3 tsunami waves were recorded, with the highest reaching 1.3 meters. The force of the tsunami was so strong that even large marine animals were affected. Reports indicated that schools of whales were washed ashore and stranded. Currently, tsunami warnings have been downgraded in Japan, Hawaii, and Kamchatka, but experts warn that aftershocks may still occur, and the public is urged to stay alert. The first tsunami wave struck Northern California and the Bay Area on the morning of July 30th. According to the U.S. National Weather Service's Eureka office, at around 1 a.m., a 3.6-foot wave hit Crescent City and Humboldt Bay along the Northern California coast. By around 1:12 a.m., the tsunami reached the San Francisco area. So far, no injuries or property damage have been reported. The director of the Geophysical Research Center in Lake Baikal, Russia, said that a series of aftershocks could occur, some of which may last for years or even decades. The earthquake also triggered an eruption at the Klyuchevskoy volcano. Standing at 4,835 meters, Klyuchevskoy is the tallest active volcano in Eurasia and is located on the Kamchatka Peninsula.